Hello, welcome back to Racing Club UK podcast. It's series 4. We're going to do more than 2 episodes of the series, and it's going to be sick. My name is Darren Paul. I am the president of the Filial Londres. I'm joined by the legendary, the iconic, the frankly magnificent Nacho Tierno, who is the beating heart of the Filial Londres. Nacho, it's been a couple of months actually since we've properly caught up over a wonderful pizza. How are you, my friend?
Yeah, hi Darren. I'm very good. All good, thank you. And it's true, it has been a good couple of months, and we have a few things to comment on, I guess.
We absolutely do. We absolutely do. The first thing that we need to comment on, of course, is we've got a new Twitter. Very excitingly, we decided, you know what, we need a relaunch. We need to restart this Twitter. Let's get rid of all our followers. Who needs followers on Twitter? No, not quite. Our account broke essentially, so it's still the same.
Racing Club UK or
What
Racing Club UK. Yeah.
I forget what that's called now. Handle, same Twitter handle. So we're all set there. Just make sure that you give us a follow, so that you never miss a live episode of the Wrestling Club UK podcast. So, Nacho, where to begin?
Where to begin? Shall we start talking about decisions being made at the club?
Yes, there is one decision I want to talk about very quickly.
You start then. Guman Roundup. Okay.
She's the captain's
I know.
gone.
I know what you're saying. Yeah, so our friend Natalie Juncos has decided to continue his career abroad. So she left the club.
Yeah.
And that is part of a few changes in the women team. That let's see how they end up
Yeah.
playing out. But I'm sure we will have time to do a deep dive
Yeah.
on those changes before the season starts.
Absolutely. Not that is not for today. I just thought I'd just dive in there. Just to give a big shout out to Natalie Junkos.
Yeah, and we wish her the best of luck for her next chapter, I guess.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Is my assumption that she's gone to America? Gone back to America?
I think so. Yeah, I'm not sure she has a club
Yeah.
at the moment, but her intention, for what I read, was that she was going back to America,
Yeah. I
which it
mean,
makes sense because that's where her family is. As she explained us in when she was part of this podcast, I think her husband is still located
yeah,
in America.
absolutely. I mean, that is long distance and for a long time, and football playing as an athlete, as an overseas athlete, that's tough. I mean, she's Argentine, she's an Argentine international, but I mean that is tough. So appreciate you. Cup of tea up there to Natalie Youngos, and we'll have a deep dive into all things women, and who knows, we might try and get Natalie on in the future, when a bit more down the road. I think what we really, what Nacho thought we were going to go to, and I steamrolled it, is the wrestling club after El Principe Diego Milito.
Yeah, let's remember when he left and why. So before that quarterfinals match against Boca, he made a big announcement saying, "I'm not going to renew Libertadores quarterfinals." Sorry, he said, not going to renew my contract, and I'm leaving the club." And he highlighted some big differences between him and the people who were leading the club. The president, the vice president. He didn't say specific names, but we all knew who he was referring to. Uh, and after that, the club not only got rid of Milito, but they got rid of a way of working. And I mean, the consequences are out there, um, unfortunately.
I just need to reiterate what you said. It was in the lead in a couple of days before the biggest match in the history of this football club in how long?
Probably last time we reached semi-finals of a continental tournament was 1997.
Yeah.
So that's how big the match was against Boca. And actually, I think he did it before Flamengo. I can't remember the timing. I don't know if it was before Flamengo or between Flamengo and Boca, but it wasn't a great timing. Let's say like that. And but there were more things like at stake, I guess, than just a quarterfinal match.
And it's not, and this isn't me talking about Milito and his decision. It just shows you, just in a nutshell for me, everything that was wrong with the club internally at that time, where in the lead into the biggest game since maybe 1997, you could argue the Gimnasia Criminal Plata game where we clinched it. No, sorry, Godoy Cruz, where we clinched the title, or the Copa. Oh, what do you call it?
Superliga
The
uh,
Superliga.
against Tigre, yeah.
Yeah. So all these, big games, and the internal politics were that toxic that it took down somebody who's literally got a street named after him outside the stadium.
Yeah, and the reasons he mentioned were like, I don't want to be part of politics that ruined the club in the 90s. And those politics, I suffer them as a player because that's why he was an academy player at that moment. And he was, I want to get rid of those practices, those politics, and I want to move the club forward and be part of a transformation, which it was happening, and the results were quite good actually. um, but what surprised me is after he left, and what probably is evidence of what Melito was saying is that they didn't try a similar model. They actually went back to all politics or policies, and um, and we are where we are, I guess.
Just want to bring everybody's attention back to January 26th, 2019, so 3 years ago now. New York Times article written by Rory Smith. European methods on an Argentine league budget, embracing scouting strategies now common elsewhere, and an ambition bigger than its wallet. Racing Club rides a new plan into first place. Literally, the club that we love was the gold standard for not just Argentina, but arguably the whole of South America in terms of this is how you build, this is how you run a football club. This is just the model. And it was delivered on a plate to anybody who wanted it and the people who had it by Diego Milito and the team that he assembled, as well as the football was good. And we were
Yeah,
winning things.
and titles arrived pretty quickly. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Ariel Falia says, Milito, get back, please, as soon as possible. We love you. We know that for sure. I mean, is anybody going to disagree with that? I don't. Hands up, who
No,
disagrees?
I completely agree with Ariel. But again, it just leaving names aside, I love Milito as well, but I just don't get why they didn't replicate the model. Like it makes no sense, or actually makes sense because then all the accusations from Milito were probably correct. Because you can either run a club the way Milito wanted, or if you want to do the stuff that is happening, then you cannot run the club like that because a director of football will not allow all that to happen. So that's where we are. Yeah, unfortunately.
I mean, I think the question is, given our global situation, how much was pandemic related and how much was just this is a club that is just fracturing into a billion pieces internally?
I think the pandemic affected the team a little bit in terms of results because Becasese struggled after the Becasese team struggled after the pandemic, especially at domestic level. We did quite well in the Libertadores.
Yeah.
But I think the problems inside the club were happening before the pandemic. I don't think the pandemic has anything to do with what happened with the crisis. And what came later was yeah, maybe budget wise was a little bit affected by the pandemic. No one has money in Argentina at the moment. The club, our club is not the exception, I guess. But again, we were never a rich club, so I guess that the pandemic was just happening to everyone. So I don't think it's a factor here.
So you've already mentioned one former manager in Becca Sexy and his sexy football, and until it wasn't during the that very lean period of no fans in the stands.
Yeah.
And then he was gotten rid of. And then they brought in Juan Antonio Pizzi, he of the glasses on the string, Rod's favourite.
Yeah, and it
Yeah,
didn't work out for Juan
no,
Antonio. I mean, it was a tough job for him. People were not happy with seeing Milito leaving, so it was always going to be a tough job for the next manager. And it was ended up being an impossible job to handle for him. And he left after losing to Independiente. And when he left, the team was in Libertadores position. I mean, it was going to qualify for the next Libertadores, and it was doing quite well in the. Oh no, it was out of the Libertadores after
yeah,
losing to Sao
yeah.
Paulo. Um, but after that, it was a complete downfall.
The football
Uh,
was horrendous.
yeah, the football wasn't good, but it wasn't good after him.
No.
Uh, it got worse, probably. I'm going to say, and then we had a really
What?
weird
Under
appointment.
Claudio
Really,
Ubeda.
yeah. Well, Ueda was a kind of caretaker, interim
Yeah,
manager,
caretaker, yeah.
which the initial idea was to keep him until the end of the season. The results were not there, and they had to get rid of him as well. So it was changing decisions every day, basically, for these people. And then they appointed a really awkward appointment, Fernando Gago, a manager with no kind of curriculum, with just a very short spell at Aldo Civi, no good results either. So um, difficult to understand why he was appointed.
Yeah, really not good results. Like 44 points
Yeah.
out of 39 games. Well, he didn't. He wasn't there for the 39 games, but so I'm just looking at the Promiedos table.
Yeah, but a lot of the points were collected by actually Martin Palermo. So I don't have the numbers with me, but his Pela Aldo Civi wasn't very good.
What is their strategy? They're just there like, let's get in the legends. Let's get all the lads in.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not close enough to anyone at the club, but what you hear from people that are or have or know some people inside the club was that there's always some connections between Gago's agent and the club.
Yeah.
So whether there's dodgy business happening there, I don't know, because I'm not close enough to the club to comment on. But it's an awkward appointment, and I mean, speculations are out there, so you can interpret it whatever you want, but it's weird.
It's not what you know. It's who you know. That's
Exactly.
is that basically what we're saying here?
Uh,
Uh,
yeah,
yeah.
eh, and we qualified to the Sudamericana in the end because of Pizzi's probably the points we earned during Pizzi's um, matches, but that was it. Gago didn't do well. However, he was given the job to continue the season. We got some players that he wanted pre-season. He was allowed to run a pre-season, and now we started the season.
How did we do in preseason? I saw bits and bobs of matches, but I didn't properly take in the score. It didn't look great from the foot
Yeah,
again. The football from the eye test.
I think we played 3, 4 friendlies, um, closed doors friendlies. It wasn't like um, some of them were televised, were on TV.
Mm-hmm.
Um, a mixed bag of results.
Yeah.
And also it wasn't like they were not proper friendlies. It was like matches of 40 minutes, switching quite a lot of personnel. So difficult to comment on.
Um. So, that's a bit of a roundup on where the club's been, the journey it's been on in the last 18 months. Yeah, 18 months or so. Um, in review, not great. Not great, to be honest. A fun one at the game on Sunday, and we'll get to that in much more detail. Part of the stadium fell down um, onto some fans. Just a bit of scrap metal, well, not scrap metal, but metal rusted off and fell down. It's like, lads, you've had a whole off season to make sure that it's structurally sound. Like,
Yeah, I
I don't
I
think that's
know.
asking much.
No, I read that, and some people were saying that the pictures were not they were fake news basically. They were not real pictures. Some other people say that they were actual real pictures, but it happened where in an area where there were no fans.
Oh, okay.
So you wonder whether that was the reason why there wasn't any people there,
Yeah.
or yeah, I don't know if it's true or not. It's difficult to say. Um, but yeah, if it's true, it's bad. I mean,
Yeah.
it's really bad.
Um, so looking at, shall we move on to transfers, or is there any more Racing Club after Milito news for you?
No, I think that the picture that we describe is quite clear, right? There is there isn't a project, there isn't a strategy, and there is plenty of speculations there that we left behind a project that was transforming the club, and we went back to some policies in the past that might be benefiting some individuals, but they are not benefiting the club.
Back to this New York Times article. It says the gym at Predio Tita Matiusi, where Argentina's Racing Club hopes to forge its future.
Well,
Well,
you wonder where the future looks like now. It's maybe I'm a bit negative, but yeah.
I think you're realistic, my friend. Um, let's go into transfer news then. There's been quite a lot of activity. I think the headline signing is again from Aldosivi. It's Gabriel Alche. He's back. He of the 2014 Championship fame. That exciting right midfielder or right winger. He is back. He's come from Aldosivi on a free. He had some success at Aldosivi.
I agree. Yeah, he did
Scored.
quite well. Yeah.
He backed himself some goals, including two on the last day against Estudiantes La Plata, including a 94th minute winner over Estudiantes. How many goals did he get at Aldosivi? 5 in 11 games.
Yeah,
So
it's a good number.
that's not horrible.
No.
He was at Argentinos. Oh, what's going on, my Castellano?
No, Argentinos.
Argentinos
Yeah.
Juniors for a couple of seasons. Prior to that, I had completely missed that he was back in Argentina, to be honest with you. After playing for Millonarios in Colombia and
In Tijuana in
Tijuana,
Mexico.
of
Yeah.
course, like all ex-Racing players, they must play
Well,
in
there
Tijuana
you have. You know who has good connection at Tijuana? Gago's agent. So I mean,
and Toluca.
so yeah, it's Christian Bragarnik, which is the biggest agent in Argentina at the moment, probably.
So that's a quick rundown of Gabriel Alche. Won the league in 2014. Runner up with us in the 11-12 Apertura, apparently.
That probably was Simeone's. It was under Simeone. Yeah,
I
correct.
think, yeah, that was when I was starting to just
Yeah, good.
discover this
Not a
wonderful
great
team.
team, but a very Simeone team. Very good
I
defensively.
mean, I remember
Yeah.
the next season. No, not a great team at all.
No, the next season was Basile. Yeah, it was terrible.
It was horrible.
Yeah.
I don't know how I ended up. No, I do know how, but it's quite funny to me. It's like was not a glory pick. I think
But
that's fair to say.
what do you think of Auche coming back?
I mean, I'm kind of. It's got that warm fuzzy feeling because here's a player that I've got great, really nice memories of, and it's nice that he's coming back to a club where he had such success and had a
He's a
great
Racing
time in his career.
supporter, right? As well.
There we go. There you go.
Um,
And so that side of it, like the emotional side of it, is nice. We need goals. We need more firepower in front of goal. Because obviously we've lost Licha Lopez. Again, how many goals was he providing towards the end? But he's still it's Licha Lopez. Like he was the engine. And we also lost Vitenic. So that's two areas of goals. We still don't have Brian Alvarez back.
yeah.
So yeah, I mean, we need a goal scorer. Auche's proven that he can score some at this level. It's yeah, I'm cautiously optimistic. I'm looking forward to it, and not to dive into the game too much, but I thought he looked all right on
Yeah,
Sunday.
I agree with you. I mean, it's
Put him on penalties.
he's 37-year old, so he's probably aging, or um, he probably won't be able to play 90 minutes um, every single weekend. But I think he's still a player who can contribute with, as you say, some goals, some kind of leadership off the pitch. And he was a free transfer. It's a guy who likes the club, who supporters also. Um, he's one of the supporters' favorite. So I think it might work. And again, it was a free transfer, so he might be able to replace Licha in some aspects. Of course, he's not the player that Licha was, but still out there, he can be a handy player. He can be a handy player. I agree with you completely.
I'm getting my Brian's mixed up. Brian Alvarez is a defender, so don't expect many goals
Okay,
from him. I don't know who am I thinking of then. I must be thinking of
Fernandez.
yeah.
He's
Did
not
he?
back. No,
No, he's still at
he
Ferro, I think.
he went back to Colón, and I think Colón are going to release him, and he's going to sign for a team in the B Nacional.
I was so excited for Ferro
He,
Kirill
he
Oeste to make it, and they
uh,
didn't.
uh, Brian did well at Ferro.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, his problems
they
are
never went
still
away.
there. His addictions, yeah. He's very open about it. And I every time I see him speaking, it literally breaks my heart, because it's a lovely guy with a lot of issues and
Yeah.
problems in his private life, and that's very unfortunate. And we shouldn't prejudge. We should help him.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Um,
Again,
and a
I'd
hell of
love
a
to see
player.
him.
A hell of a
Oh,
player.
I mean, that goal he scored against
Yeah,
Independiente in that friendly.
extremely talented. That unfortunately his addictions didn't allow him to be the player he could have been. Uh, that's the real thing.
Um, in other signings news, we got Emanuele Insua. I feel like we already have him? And
His
I'm just
brother. We had his brother.
oh,
Correct.
okay, that's fun. So yeah, this is a huge signing.
Yeah.
Um,
Also from Aldo Civi. Also a
no,
free transfer.
yes.
Uh, Also a aging player. He's 33. And he's on a 3-year contract, which feels a bit too much.
Ooh, I mean,
Um,
yeah,
Centre
for a,
back.
I mean,
I feel it's a bit of a
yeah,
gamble, and you end
it's a
up,
little bit of a gamble.
yeah. I think you might end up paying one extra year of contract, maybe two.
He uh, he made it on as a substitute, I think, in the game on Sunday.
Correct. And everyone thought he was going to start, because in the preseason he was the first option for Gago, but uh, Gago decided to include Piovi as a
Mm.
second centre back, or left centre back.
I mean, do you
Um,
want a centre back pairing with a combined age of 67?
well, that maybe Gago realized.
Bloody hell. And Mena as well, 33.
Yeah,
But
Yeah,
and,
and Piovi did well to be fair. So
yeah.
maybe good shout there from Garro.
Um, the I just want to go through Insua's
Career.
career.
It's an
What a
interesting one.
journey! What a journey.
Yes.
Boca Juniors, Liverpool for 4 years,
Yeah.
Galatasaray, 2 years at Sporting Lisbon, 3 years at Atletico Madrid,
Atletico Madrid. Yeah.
and then Rayo Vallecano, my guys. Big shout. 5 years at Stuttgart,
Stuttgart. Yeah.
LA Galaxy, Aldosivi. What a wild career this guy's
It
had.
is. But you mentioned really big teams there. And he also is he used to he won the under 20 World Cup with Argentina, sharing a team with Claudio Jacob, Leonardo Sigali,
Ah,
and Sergio Romero as well. So a few familiar faces for us in there.
I mean,
And Morales, of course.
he's 2 Champions League finals.
He didn't play that much. That is my only point. Like you mentioned big teams like Boca,
Right.
Liverpool,
Yeah.
Atletico Madrid. I
You,
think
s-
if you
you, s-
put
you I hear what you're saying. I'm going to cut you off, right? Because you're
okay,
right to an extent.
okay,
Liverpool, his last year, 09-10 season, 31 games, 30 starts. That's not horrible.
no, that's more
That's
than I thought.
that's good. Like the other years, yeah, it was 2, 3, 10, but he'd have been pretty young then. So 31, Galatasaray 16 and 12, Sporting Lisbon 24, 13. So yeah, that's a little bit of a drop off. Oh no, sorry,
Yeah,
he made a signing with Atleti, and then yeah, did not play a lot. 9 games
no,
for them total.
he didn't play that much in that. Yeah,
24 games for the mighty Rayo Vallecano. A very regular player for Stuttgart,
yeah, he was, and that
and
was
then
probably his best. His best year were in the Bundesliga. Yeah,
and then yeah, Galaxy, Aldosivi, and Racing. He
yeah.
played 57 minutes the other day for us. Oh, he came on
He
because
came on
Son
when
got hurt.
Mena got injured.
Mena
Yeah,
got injured. Yeah,
yeah. So yeah, Insu on a free transfer. And then
I'm decently excited for that actually.
completing the defense, Piovi came back from Cologne. He was on loan, so he's not a transfer, but he's a new face. And then Mura, another Cologne defender, right fullback. That he did a good job yesterday.
I have him down as coming from. Oh no, he
Yeah,
was on
from
loan at Cologne,
Estudiantes. Yeah. He
but
was
yeah,
on loan at
Estudiantes.
Cologne, and Estudiantes. We pay a million. I'm not sure it's dollars or euros.
I've got
Uh,
800,000 euros.
okay, so $1 million for uh, Estudiantes will retain 50% of a future sale, basically.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
quite a
profit.
that's a hefty chunk.
So it's like a kind of a split ownership, 50 and
Mm.
50 with Estudiantes. It
He's
works
from
that
a
way.
place called General Roca.
General Roca, that's, if I'm correct, where is that? Buenos Aires province? I don't know.
It just says General Roca.
Yeah.
Rio Negro.
Oh, Rio Negro is Patagonia. Okay, yeah,
Oh,
that
the
makes sense.
conquest of the desert.
Yeah, I apologize for people from General Roca to get it completely wrong.
I mean, if anybody's watching from there, big shout to you. Do you speak Welsh? Um, again, you talked about international experience. Sudamericano under 20 runner up in 2019. And a Trofeo de Campeones, again, runner up in 2021. So
Yeah,
he's got a bit of big game experience about him. That's
yeah, he played well yesterday. But
another signing, Enzo Copetti, 620 euros wasted.
yeah, this is his second season at Racing. The first one he was on loan, but you are right. We pay transfer fees again, a 50-50 ownership or 50% of a future transfer. But I think there's an option to buy or a commitment to buy an additional 30% if some targets are met. I
Let's
think
let's
that's what
let's
I
not
read.
let's not play him that much then.
And
Um, and I'm a very pro player person working in pro sports. Thomas Chankalai as well. Bought him from Cologne, 875,000 euros.
similar to Copetti, right? He was on loan. We purchased. I think it's also 50%. It's a split ownership case.
Now I'm a bit more positive about this one. I thought Chankalai was actually handy last year. I think of the two, he was certainly the better, more useful. Though I understand I am not exactly in the in the majority on that one.
No, you're not, but I understand your point, and I'm not far away from where you are. I think Chankalai under Pizzi did well. He 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 was our top scorer, and then he was deployed to not his best position under Ubeda, and I think he lost a little bit of confidence there, and people didn't have any patience, and I don't know. It's a weird one. I still think it's a player with some raw talent that needs a good manager, if you ask me.
I think he's an upside player. I think his ceiling is way higher than again Copetti. I know they play different roles and different positions, but just
I agree.
I know which one I'd have spent the money on. I think we might not be the place for him. Gago might not be the coach for him, but I think he's a player.
Yeah.
And I hope we can see more of him and utilize him a bit more. We also brought in Tagliamonte, a goalkeeper from
Same. He was on loan, and we purchased him. So he was on loan and Racing last season.
From Atletico Rafael. Did he see any minutes? See any minutes?
He played, I think I'm going to say 3 matches for Racing, maybe 2. He did well, and I saw him playing really well in a couple of pre-season friendlies. There might be some talent there. I mean, I think he could be a good option. But again, it's an awkward purchase
Why do we
because
keep buying second division players?
yeah, exactly, and it's a player that before joining Racing, he had a handful of games at Atletico Rafaela. So how you assess the player is a bit controversial. You There's always there an speculation that why you're signing a player that only has 3, 4, 5 matches at Atletico Rafaela. It doesn't make any sense. So I get the point. I get the point. The people that criticize that approach, and I actually agree.
I mean, it's not like we've signed, Marcos Acuna again, because we got
No,
him
no.
again
Marcos
from
Acuna was
Ferro
a
West.
fantastic player at Ferro. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
Um,
So a bit of an interesting one. I mean, I suppose we do need depth at goalkeeper. We've got 4 on our roster this season. Chila Gomez, who more on him later. Love that guy. Big fan. Who are our other keepers? Why am I going off my top?
Arias is injured.
Yeah,
Unfortunately,
Arias.
ACL. Yeah.
Matthias Tagliamonte then is second choice goalkeeper.
Yeah, now he's the second choice goalkeeper.
And we've got a 20-year-old Sergio Juarez as well, who doesn't even have a squad number. So I assume he's going to be in the reserves.
Correct.
I guess he'll be
potentially
starting
a
for the
third
reserves.
keeper. Yeah, he will.
So third keeper there. The big signing, obviously, at least money-wise, 2.9 million euros. Edwin Cardona.
And again,
now say it.
50. No, yeah, but it's 50% ownership, right?
I was going to say Tijuana.
Yes, he's coming from Tijuana, which raises some questions again. But he wasn't playing at Tijuana, right? He was playing at Boca on loan.
Yeah.
Boca decided not to buy him, so he went back to Mexico, and there was an opportunity for Racing that Gago actually. It was apparently a Gago request. You never know. Interesting that he was playing for Tijuana as
well. Again, just a bit of a rundown his career history. So initially in Colombia with Atlético Nacional, Independiente Santa Fe, Junior, back to Nacional. So those are the big some of the big boys
Three
of
big teams. Yeah.
Colombian football. That's cool. And then Monterrey for 3 years in Mexico, Boca, Pachuca, Tijuana, back to Boca. He scored decently for Monterrey 1 year, 18 goals in 36 games. That was very much an anomalous season. It's definitely a career high, at least in terms of league. Yeah, hasn't exactly lit the world alight in cup competitions. He's got 10 goals in 53 games for Colombia.
Yeah. Um,
Not prolific,
fun,
I'm going to go
not
with.
prolific in terms of talent and very talented player.
Mm.
I guess his physical condition has been questioned for a long time. His discipline off the pitch as well, and that's apparently the main reason why Boca decided not to sign him. An expensive player that he has injury problems, and to be fair, he has records of being not the most disciplined player off the pitch. So you can see why Boca decided not to sign him. Um, I don't think he's fit at the moment. I saw him yesterday. He's extremely talented and he can still create a lot of things, but he looks slow. He he still need to get to a better position from from a fitness point of view. Um, so who knows?
I mean, I guess one good way of doing that is sprinting or running about in Abe Shineda on what looked like an absolutely gorgeous day yesterday. But
Yeah.
yeah, played the full 90. He took the penalty, wasn't it?
No, he was Correa.
Ah, horrible penalty. But yeah, again, everything that you've said there has me very much not enthused for the
No,
signing.
no, awkward signing as well. I
Mm,
mean, value for money. You're not. I'm not sure what we are getting
yeah,
because it's a lot of money that we invested on that
that's a
player.
lot of money. That is, half of the over half of the budget gone on him.
Yeah.
So interesting. We will see. Listen. You know me. I'm Mr. Positive. Actually,
No,
am.
and I think Cardona is a very talented player, so he
Yeah.
might end up being a good signing. I
But
just
right now,
think
it's
there's
a
too
bit.
much risk associated to that signing. Too much money for a player who, if you look at the minutes and games he played for Boca last season, he hardly completed 90 minutes in any games that he was play so he played. So and he had two muscular injuries. It's quite a lot in a season.
Yeah. Unless they've got like Newcastle's trainers from the mid 2000s.
Exactly.
What an awful football club.
Uh,
I just, in terms of players out, I mean, the big one, Licha, he's gone to play for Sarmiento.
Sorry, can I mention one more
Oh,
thing? There's one more
oh,
signing. Jonathan Gomez from Argentinos Junior, a creative midfielder as well, offensive
oh,
midfielder.
yes.
But um,
We've got
uh,
him on loan.
free transfer on loan. Yeah, we didn't pay a fee for him, and I think there's an option to buy him. And I think it's a 2-year contract. A player that did well in Colombia, but it's 32. Um, he wasn't playing regularly for Argentinos. Another awkward signing.
Yeah, very, very awkward signing.
Yeah,
Again, another wild
yeah,
career. Rosario Central, Banfield, and then Spain in
yeah.
the second tier for Real Murcia, Arsenal de Sarandí, Tucumán, and then Deportivo Pasto. Never heard of them, I'll be honest with you.
In Colombia.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Independiente de Santa Fe,
that's
Sao
where he did
Paulo.
well. Yeah, he did well in the Independiente de Santa Fe.
That was 2017.
Yeah, I know.
And
It's
it was
quite
for
a long.
like less than 50 games. Sao Paulo, okay, that's a hell of a step up.
Yeah.
I would say. Then he went to Saudi Arabia to go and earn some money. Good for you, I guess. It could never be me, but whatever. Back to Sao Paulo. CSA. Is that going to be Corinthians?
MLS.
No. Centro Sportivo Alagoano.
Oh, Central
Brazil.
America.
Never.
Central America clearly, but I have no idea where that is.
Some team in Brazil.
Okay.
I've
Okay.
never heard of them.
Maybe second division. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Recife
Okay.
Juniors Anawas. So again,
Yeah.
another player with a wacky,
A Globetrotter.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's a funny one.
Yeah, and a player that again, his last 6 months, year or so, it's such an awkward signing, and you question who is assessing all these players, who is, and that's where I
Well,
guess the same speculations come.
it's
Like,
Garcia.
oh, I don't know. I don't really know who is. It should be Capria. It should be
That's
his
sorry,
team.
Capria. That's
Yeah, but does he have a team? Like, what? Who are the technical people behind that? I mean, it's very very weird.
if you go on the Racing Club website and you look at our squad, our what's it called, Plantel. You look at that. We've got as many backroom staff as we've got players, pretty much. It's it's outrageous.
Is it?
So
Oh,
the manager is Ruben Capria.
yeah.
We've got Miguel Rasecho, who's gerente football profesional. So I
Okay.
guess he's in charge of professional football.
Yeah. He should be
Jef-
the kind of director of football. Yeah.
Jefe de prensa. Is that a press officer?
But yeah, that's the press officer. Yeah.
All right. And we've got coordinators, we've got utileros, we've got all sorts. We've got
Yeah.
2 video analysts. But yeah, we've got a massive backroom staff.
Yeah. But okay, then I would question how they're assessing players.
Yeah.
It's unusual. It feels there's some signings that just don't make any sense, and we didn't sign players on key positions where we actually need, like center backs. Well, sorry, not center back, center midfielder and striker.
Yeah, but we've
Those
got
two
loads of.
positions haven't been covered. Just
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, right? You just put a right back there, it'll be fine.
yeah, it's just difficult to understand the logic behind. It doesn't seem to be a strategy. Doesn't seem to be a plan, and it looks like we are fishing opportunities rather than signing the right players in the right position, following up good assessment of who can play at Racing. We have a message from Alejandro
Oh,
22
let's
that
get that.
says,
Let's get that on the screen.
I want the Racing and Newcastle.
Oh,
So one for you.
I mean, good for you, I guess, but I don't know about that, pal.
I,
But
I
thank you.
wonder whether Alejandro is based in Newcastle or in the UK, and if you are, please get in touch with us, Alejandro, because we have a filial in the UK. So please write to us and join us.
Yeah, our WhatsApp is lovely. It genuinely is.
Yeah.
Okay, so those are the signings in. Signings out. What's the big ones? It's Vitenic gone to Banfield, gone back home.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
So good for him.
Licha to Sarmiento for personal reasons. He wanted to be closer to where his family is living at the moment. And
it's where
it's
his mum
completely
lives.
understandable. Yeah.
Yeah. So good for him. And
he scored on Saturday or on Friday. I can't remember. Nice goal,
nice.
actually.
He did.
Sarmiento won 1-0. And Lisandro got the only goal, which was nice to see.
Against Atletico Tucumán. Oh,
yeah.
Good man. Good for him. I hope he's happy. I hope he has success.
I agree.
He's a legend and he deserves that.
Wish him the best. Correct. So Alejandro is putting a contribution there on screen saying Lobo Cordone play for Racing and Newcastle. And I think that's the only player I can think of that play for both teams.
There you go. Before my time. So Correa has gone to.
No, Correa's still with us.
J. Correa. Marcelo Javier Correa. I don't know.
Oh, he's yeah, I think you're talking about
That's a different
He
Correa.
yeah, he was part of our youth team. Yeah. I think
Um,
you're right.
so he's gone to Santos Laguna apparently. No further details. We've sent a load of players out on loan. And yeah,
Javier Correa was. You say Marcelo Javier Correa?
yeah.
Oh no, he is the Correa that is playing for us. He's on loan from Santos Laguna. Maybe he went back and now his loan got renewed, something like that. But
Oh, okay.
that is the Correa that you saw missing the penalty yesterday.
Ah, well, his haircut has improved immensely since his photo was taken. So yeah, Licha gone. Good luck to him. Tvitenic gone. Good luck to him.
Yeah,
Melly finally gone. You'll
released.
never
Yeah.
guess where. It's Aldous.
I
Of course it is.
I actually saw him playing, so I might be able to remember. Um,
He's gone where all
Patronato,
footballers. Aldous.
Alto Civi. Yeah, I
Yeah.
saw him the other day against Vélez. Yeah, you're right.
Picked himself up a yellow card. Good for him.
Yeah,
We've not seen him play for us since 17-18.
no, yeah.
It's a weird one. He's only 29.
It didn't work for him. It didn't work for him.
Oh, very weird one. Very, very weird one. More from Alejandro. John Lennon is a fan of a Racing Club.
Yeah, potentially. There's a
Have you seen?
video. I will share it.
Have you seen the Beatles documentary, by the way?
And no, unfortunately, I haven't yet, but it's on my list.
I've seen clips, snippets.
I
Well,
need 9 hours
you're
because
gonna love
it's
it.
quite long. Yeah.
I think you're gonna love it. So yeah, I think that's the big one. Unless there's anybody standing out as well for you, but
No,
I
I
think
think
it's mainly the kids.
yeah, a couple of players from the youth team have gone on loan or are planning to leave, like Segovia, might go to Croatia, and a couple of guys have been loaned out, and but those were players that we were not expecting to play for the first team anyway. So good that they get opportunity. Maybe they get some minutes in a first kind of professional football experience.
Lavera's loan ended, and he was not extended.
Correct.
He went
And
to
Novicio,
Olympiacos, and now
Novicio
he's
as well.
with Nicosia and
And
Novicio
Novicio. Yeah.
and Melgarejo, but I think that was
Oh, he left before.
long
Yeah,
ago.
he left. He left halfway the season last year.
Yeah. What about Melgarejo?
He's
No,
playing.
I've just spoke about him. Benjamin Garre. Are we going to expect to see Garre?
He still he was on the bench yesterday.
Mm.
It's one of those weird things where you think where he's still seen as a Milito signing. So you wonder whether there's something there that is going on that we don't know.
He came from that. Like, listen, He came from Manchester City.
Yeah, and he did well in the beginning. That he got
Yeah.
injured. He got badly injured. I think he damaged his meniscus and had to go through a surgery. And after that, he got some opportunities. He never played 90 minutes. I can't remember him playing 90 minutes. Always coming off the bench. But it's a weird one. I don't know what to think about. You would suppose as a player you would invest on, try to get him minutes, try to recover, because he's a young player, he's talented, and he has value potentially in the market if he does well. But it's a bit weird.
Anything more on the makeup of the squad right now? And like, so you started to mention a couple of areas where you'd have liked to have seen improvement and progress being made. In your eyes, what is our glaring omission from our squad?
I think we need a defensive centre mid. I think since Marcelo Diaz left, we haven't been able to replace him, and
that's another one. That's a conversation to be had.
I think we need a striker. I think we are really short of options there. and I'm not sure the options we have too many goals on them, if
No.
you ask me.
Hmm.
Um, and I think, and this is a problem that takes me back to the Saracho days and Paul Fernandez day. I don't think we've been able to replace Saracho and Paul Fernandez in the way that we need that dynamic midfielder, like old school box to box, if you want to call it, but one of those midfielders that are always an option instead of a pass that they gain to scoring positions. I think we are missing that, and we've been missing that for a couple of seasons. Um, that's my view on the team. I'm sure we also need a centre back because we need to start planning replacing Sigali and
Yeah.
Dominguez. We probably need a left back. Although we signed Cortés last season because Mena is his last year of his contract. So it's a lot of things that are going to unfold, I think, in terms of renewing contracts, players that are aging. I, I actually don't know where we are going. I don't see a strategy behind. I think there's too many positions, not too many important positions not being covered, plus aging players, plus contracts expiring. It's a hell of a job for next season.
Thank goodness we've got our best man on the case, Ruan Capria. I
Yeah,
do not envy him at all,
yeah, agree.
at all. And that's the big question is like what does he have around him supporting him? Because
Exactly.
exactly like you say, we need this whole new spine except for keeper because
Yeah.
defenders like you say they're aging out, um, and we've not adequately replaced Nico Sanchez. Let's be honest. Nico Sanchez, watch him roll
He
back through the door
retired.
next year.
He retired.
No,
Yeah, yeah, he retired. He
I
just
mean, good,
retired, I think.
good for him. Good for
Yeah, he
him.
did well. Yeah.
Did you enjoy your cameo?
Yeah, of course. A nice guy. Good memories.
Um, so yeah, Martinez, Mauricio Martinez
He's
is.
it's another contract that is expiring at the end of the season,
Oh, really?
and his performance is making me think his contract is not going to get renewed. Um, so
It's hit for him. With me, it's a question of like what could have been had not for the injury, but
yeah,
it's been rough. And then
yeah,
yeah, up front we need goals and we don't have them. So yeah,
no,
I completely agree
exactly.
with you. Paul Fernandez, you just mentioning Paul Fernandez has made me simultaneously very happy and very sad because I I
I
wish we had Paul Fernandez.
Yeah, and I think in the long like we never managed to replace three players that under Coudet were the heart of
Integral.
the team in terms of dynamic. Solari, Fernandez, and Saracho.
Yeah.
And if you add Chelo Diaz there, you're mentioning the entire midfield.
Yeah. And Chelo Diaz,
Um,
he wanted to play for Racing.
yeah. So I I just think that this is a problem that we've been having for some time, and the last three window transfers, you say,
Yeah.
they've been really really bad because
Yeah.
there's no planning, and we don't have midfielders that can do that job. We have quite a slow uh, set of midfielders, and we saw that on yesterday. I Yeah, I just don't understand what they're doing.
It
I
it gets the
everyone can see that. Yeah,
like if we're really playing 4-3-3, and the thing with me is I'm not able to read a football pitch like you are, but if that's what we're really doing and we've got Martinez in the middle, we are
Martinez, Miranda, and Rojas.
we are
No,
dead.
yeah, exactly.
We're screwed because he's so slow.
Yeah,
Like, and if like when the play's in front of him, I think he's completely fine. But
yeah, he is a slow. And Alejandro, who is watching us, he's saying Mauricio is a slow player, and I completely agree. And
yeah,
I'm actually going to say something more. I think he need a lot of time and space to make the right pass. I saw yesterday he struggles when he's under pressure. Um, he's not the best passer. His first touch is not great. So I don't think he can be a good defensive center mid. Um, Maybe I got too used to Chelo Diaz.
Also from Alejandro, apparently Zaracho is being watched by Everton.
Yeah, I read that.
Poor thing, Zaracho. You'll get paid, but you might get relegated. So
I mean, it would be good for Racing because remember that if Saracho gets a transfer to Europe, Racing still owns a percentage, or it's like I think 30 or 40%, or maybe 50% of the players. So it would be a big number for Racing. So
it would be. It would be.
finger
You know,
crossed. Yeah.
Everton again getting for like £3.5 million or something ridiculous. So
And
yeah,
I'd rather not see Saracho at Everton if you ask me, but I take the money.
not this Everton right now. Jesus,
No, exactly.
there is. I mean, just not Newcastle, please, not Newcastle, but anywhere else. Like
Yeah.
Manchester United could do with him.
Yeah, I I think
You
I would
want him
like to
at
hear.
You want him at Spurs, so you can go see.
Spurs, definitely. No, I want him on a league where he can develop, and I think the Premier League is a tough one. I think probably Spain, Portugal would
Spain,
be the right
Portugal.
step for him. Yeah.
Another question or another comment rather from Alejandro. There is a very good young player from lower divisions named Miaurio.
I'm not aware. I'll double check. I'll speak to my
Contacts.
contacts at the club who might be able to brief me on that.
Ooh.
Actually I'm not up to date with the youth squad, so I apologize.
So
Let's
Sunday.
get into the game.
Let's get into it. Full disclosure, I was on a train back from London, having commentated Leicester Riders London Lions. Very exciting game of basketball. Check it out if you're in the UK. Yeah, so I watched this on a phone and then on a Chromebook, but I did watch it. And a couple of broad strokes. Obviously, this final score 0-0. A few things. Firstly, lovely to be watching Racing again. Lovely sunny day. Just made me feel warm on a very, very cold platform.
Nice to see a good number of fans at the stadium as well.
Packed. Well, not
over 30K probably.
Really healthy crowd.
Yeah.
Great crowd noise. Really good commentary on AFA play.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I assume it was really good. I can't understand much.
No, I agree.
It was really pleasant. It was. Listen, as a commentator of professional sport, it was.
No, I agree with you. And I'm not a professional sport commentator. I think it was quite refreshing to see new faces. We didn't see those faces, but to hear new voices.
Yeah,
and
it
good commenting.
It was calm. It was paced really well. It was really well paced. Like when there were big moments, it got very exciting, but they did a great job. You know, they're doing my dream for me. So awesome. Though there was an incident, I had to get off the train, so I put YouTube radio commentary on whilst I was like going through the station, and that was when Chile Gomez came out of goal and collected the forward player. I'm not too sure who that was, but
in the second half, in the first half.
First half, I think it was Aleman.
Yeah.
Could have seen red, possibly, but we'll get into that. But and the radio commentary was very, very not calm. They were going mad. So that was a scary moment once I was walking to a taxi. But yeah, so story of the game, 0-0, 3 shots on target. We had a penalty. Who was it that was brought down? It was Mena, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Mena into the box, just arm on the shoulder, pulled him down. He sold it, but it was an absolute stonewall penalty. The referee was Yael Falcon Perez, who massive, by the way. He is huge.
Tall.
He's super tall.
Yeah.
I thought he had a good game, actually.
Yeah.
I think he's fine.
Yeah, I think he did well.
The penalty was absolutely horrible. It was exactly where a goalkeeper wants it. It was low. It was tame. It was too close to his body. And we saw the game that we always, I say we always, but we've seen a lot, where dominated possession, 65-35, We had 15 shots in total, only 3 on target.
Hmm.
We just are so toothless in attack. Like we controlled the game. I didn't really think that we were in major danger of losing it.
But there were a couple of
But
scary moments.
they had a
Yeah,
couple of great. Well, they had the ball in the net, but it got ruled off for offside,
yeah,
and they had a couple of really good chances. But Gaston Chila Gomez,
did really well.
he stood on his head. He had the sort of performance I expect from him, just because I've got super high expectations of him because we all know how good he is and what he has been and what he could be. So I'm excited for this kid's future. But frustrating, I think, is the big one.
Yeah, I think Racing didn't play well in the first half. It wasn't just a coincidence that the penalty came through a combination between Cardona and Mena, because that was the only threat in the first 20-25 minutes. The midfield was not controlling the ball. The passing was bad. Um, but then the penalty was the only positive of the first half. Unfortunately, Correa missed it. I don't like to criticize players that miss penalty or decisions, because a lot of people were saying why Cardona or Rojas, why they didn't take the penalty instead of Correa. But you can only comment that, and usually those comments come up when a penalty is missed, because um, Correa, I think it was a good option for that. He converted two or three during preseason, so I'm not going to question that. I agree, Rojas is probably a better option, but apart from the penalty, it was nothing in the first half. I think in the second half, Racing improved due to one tactical change that Gago got right. He swapped Miranda and Rojas, so they swapped sides basically. But Rojas was playing on the right of Martinez, and Miranda on the left. And I think Racing passing improved. The midfield play a little bit better. We created more chances, but still not great chances until Gago decided to change the midfield that was working, change the shape, and we exposed ourselves. And thanks to Chila Gomez, we rescue a point. But
Mm.
there was a massive save from Chila Gomez, um, on a one-on-one against Carbonero, that could have cost us big.
He,
So
he Chila Gomez, he was awesome. He played really well. I just looking at this Racing side, it's just super uninspiring at the moment.
yeah, I agree, and I think Gago tactically hasn't impressed me. It's the opposite. I think I'm a bit worried about his game management. He doesn't seem to read the game correctly.
Mm.
Yesterday, I was surprised that he decided to change midfield when Racing was probably getting there instead of controlling the game and creating those chances without being fantastic. Um, but that change of shape, it was awful, and it almost cost us the game. And the last 20 minutes, the midfield had no shape. Racing lost any kind of passing game. We didn't create enough. We start playing long balls, no organization, and we almost conceded twice. Um, really poor last 20 minutes. Not a great first half. Decent 25 minutes in the second half. Yeah, an improvement in comparison to what we saw under Gago before, but not good enough.
Um, what I will say is Gimnasia's goalie Rodrigo Gore,
Oh,
he
he
had a
was
couple.
outstanding. Yeah.
He had a really good day. He had a really really good day. As it seems like every when was the last time you saw a keeper have a mare against Racing? Because I can't remember one.
Yeah, it was an Arboleda performance, wasn't it?
Yes.
It
Who's
was.
he?
But
By the way, Rayo Vallecano's finest.
he's back at Argentina. He's playing for News.
Oh, what?
Yeah, yeah,
What?
yeah. He's back.
Oh,
So let's wait until he plays Racing and he's probably the man of the match again. Um, but yeah, no, Regis was good. Sorry, Ray was good. Really good. Man of the match for me. The Gimnasia La Plata keeper. I think Racing was probably Sigali was the best man, probably best player on the pitch. But yeah, um, nothing new. As I say, a small improvement in comparison to what we saw before under Gago, but still a lot of concerns around the team.
I'm just blown away that Arboleda isn't at Rayo anymore.
No, he signed for Newt. I think he didn't enjoy many minutes at Rayo
He did
Vallecano.
not play
Yeah,
at all. He was on the
yeah,
bench.
yeah.
So yeah, I fair enough. It's disappointing because he's so good. He's a bloody great keeper. Anyway, um, so couple of things from me. Rojas, I don't understand why he's still there.
Yeah, I.
He's just he's just not he's just not good enough.
It's
Like his
his
decision making
consistency.
isn't
Yeah,
his decision making, his consistency, his dead ball,
passing.
his shooting, his passing, his
Yeah,
defending. It's just not of the standard, and it is uninspiring. It's just a word. It's just grey.
yeah.
It's just like a grey football man.
Yeah, I think we are reaching to a point where we need to conclude that it just didn't work for him at the
No,
club. I still think he's
there's
a
a player.
talented player.
There's a
Yeah,
player there, but he ain't
there's
shown it in 3 seasons.
yeah. Unfortunately, uh, I mean, the only thing I'm going to say is that the 25 minutes in which Racing were good yesterday, that was when we saw the best version of Rojas on the pitch yesterday, and he almost scored a really nice goal from outside the penalty box.
Was that the
Um,
side netting?
yeah, it was a
Yeah,
signating. So I still
didn't get
see
on
some
target.
connection between what he does when he creates something, when he does something, is when Racing produces at the same time. But as you say, it's too inconsistent, and it's normally very on and off, more off than on, I would say.
he, it, I might be out of my mind here, but he's like a poor version of Melgarejo.
Yes, yeah, it's a player
And
that hasn't
guess which
delivered.
player we don't have anymore?
Yeah, Magarejo,
Yeah,
good player.
yeah, just yeah, better.
Another impossible to explain reason why he left. Unexplainable, impossible.
There's been a few of those. There's been a few really weird ones of that.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
But anyway,
like we had the kid from Ajax. What happened to him?
sorry.
The kid from Ajax.
Uh, no, the striker from Ajax. You mean?
Yeah, yeah,
He went back to Europe, I think.
Mm.
Yeah, a
The
weird one.
weird one. But yeah,
Racing are playing again on Thursday, by the way, Darren.
let's go.
So against Beca sexy team, Defensa y Justicia.
Well, that'll be fun. That's 19:15. So that's going to be what time is that? Midnight? Quarter past
11,
midnight?
11. Sorry, night. So you say that again?
19:15.
10 o'clock here.
What's the time difference now?
3.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So we will be able to watch it without falling asleep.
That's a nice time to watch it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wow. That's something to look forward to. A draw to Defensor de Justicia.
We'll see if Gago goes with the same first 11 or he decided to bring Alcaraz, which I think is the player that we need in midfield. But let's see.
Defensor de Justicia, they lost this weekend to Los Oboys. Francisco Gonzalez had the goal. 20 years old.
Yeah.
Defensor de Justicia, they've got Unsain in goal, who, of course, used to play for Newell's.
Correct.
Anybody else? Alexis Soto, formerly of this parish.
Still on loan. Still belongs to Racing.
Walter Bow.
Good player.
The much less successful brother than Gustavo Bow.
Still quite successful.
Quite successful, but I mean, listen, he did he play for Racing? No.
No.
Does he play for the finest team in North America? No. So
No.
you know.
Um,
Um, who? Anybody else? Brian Quaisho
uh,
going on the
Adonis
bench?
Frias is a good centre back, very young and promising centre back. And then uh, I think that was it. But it's pretty much a similar team to the one that finished quite well last season, to be fair, with Becca Sexy and his team. Um, yeah,
They've got Kevin Gutierrez as well, um, which I don't know why. I think that's good because he used to play for us. That'll be why. There we go.
oh, Kevin Gutierrez. Yeah,
Yeah.
still a Racing player on loan at Defensa y Justicia. Correct.
Oh, there we go. We've got players everywhere.
We too. Yeah, and we are missing some players on some positions as well, like we said.
Say no more. How many midfielders do they have on the bench? One, two, three, four.
Plenty of
According
them.
to Promiedos, they had 7 midfielders on the bench
Yeah.
against Nose Old Boys. I suppose
Uh,
when you're playing 4, 5 across the middle.
correct. Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be a really difficult match.
Yeah.
We know Becasese loves to play to manage Defensa y Justicia. Um, he gets amazing results at that club.
I mean, they were
And
that close to winning the league.
yeah, exactly. And they won the Supercopa Sudamericana last year. Um, and my respect to a clan that is well run, also very connected to Christian Bragarnik as well, but a club that it's one of those that went through a big transformation and they do things the right way, and they promote young players and they don't overspend, and yeah, they play nice and attractive football. So credit to Defensa y Justicia. It's going to be a really tough match for Racing.
It it absolutely will be. Um, I think that's pretty much us for this evening. Is
Yeah,
there anything else that's leaping out
no,
to you?
just one thing, a question we got from our viewer, listener slash Alejandro, asking uh, about a friendly between Racing and Wolves, because there's a connection between the two teams through the Racing main sponsor, who is that is a company called Aeroset, and the owner is a big Racing fan and well connected at Wolves as well through his business. And there was some speculation that the friendly was going to happen, and I don't think there's any more rumors going on. It would be quite a difficult friendly to schedule because of the
Mm.
difference between the South American and the European calendar. Um, so the answer is I don't know. I haven't heard any news. I think it was just an intention, an idea, but I don't think it has materialized or has evolved into any kind of solid plan. Um, but we will keep an eye on it. I would
Difficult.
love to see Racing here.
Oh, 100%.
I would travel to Wolverhampton.
I would go to
Yeah,
Molyneux for that for sure.
yeah,
Yes, no, I. It's difficult, but it's not impossible because the start of the Argentine winter season coincides with the end of
yes,
European preseason, right?
yeah. There might be an opportunity there, but
There'll be like a
eh,
week in August.
those friendlies don't happen anymore, right? You have clubs, especially in the Premier League, trying to tour in Asia or in the
Yeah,
US because that's where money is. So
unless you're
yeah.
managed by Neil Warnock. Yeah,
You probably stay in the north or Midlands
no,
for
he
friends.
goes to he always took his teams to Cornwall.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Interesting. Um, so yeah, I struggle to fit the idea of the friendly is very romantic. There was a friendly before Racing play at Molino. How do you say Molino?
Molyneux.
Molin Molyneux before when the floodlights were a
Was
new
that
thing.
was the first game?
One of
The
the
one
first
all.
game under artificial light or yeah floodlights. So there's some history behind. I just think those unfortunately those friendlies don't happen anymore. Teams don't tour in Europe anymore, especially from South America, and the European teams try to tour in continents that would attract new revenue streams because of new fans. The kind of globalization of football kind of thing that we are not a big fan of, I guess. Um, so
I
yeah, I struggle
mean,
to see that happening. I would love to, but yeah.
we are an example of the globalization of football, Nacho. I didn't want to break this to you, but I am literally a person who's never been to Argentina, who supports with my whole chest an
I
Argentine football
apologize.
club,
I
an Argentine basketball club, an
Yeah,
Argentine women's football club,
I
a
still
futsal club.
think I still think you are not a consequence of globalization of football. I think you are a consequence of your curiosity going beyond the big leagues. But I
Yes.
don't think you support Racing because Racing kind of try to target new emerging markets or something like that. Uh,
unless like Seba and Dan were actually being paid by the club
yeah,
uh,
exactly.
back when I was washing dishes in 2011. Yeah, maybe.
Correct. Correct. So I don't think you are the kind of uh, yeah, you're not a product or a consequence of globalization. I think you are a true football lover and you just love the Argentinian league, which is absolutely fine.
So when I teach, because day jobs teacher. When I teach globalization, I actually do put a picture of Luciano Awed on the board, and like a picture of me, like be like, being like, why am I on the board? What am I? That's right, globalization. They're like, oh, is that why you always talk about that Argentine team?
But
Um,
but yeah, we would love to have Racing playing in the UK, but I don't know if it's going to happen.
one day.
I'm a bit negative today. I apologize.
I mean, how could you not be? Anyway, listen. Very excitingly, just very quickly, just want to talk through the Copa de la Liga Profesional. It's split into two zones, Zona Uno, Zona Dos. 14 teams in both. Lovely round numbers, or even numbers, rather. So everyone plays each other one time. So you play 14. No, that's not right. We must
No,
play
you
somebody
play.
twice.
No, you're right. You play every team once,
And then there's a
um,
14th game.
and the 14 game it's interzonal
Oh,
derby.
for
So we
your
will play
Classico.
Independiente. Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Gotta get those Classico bucks. God forbid. Um, who's Barraca Central's Classico? Because
I
because
don't
I
know.
remember back to the football para todos days
Yeah,
where they did the zonas, and
yeah.
there was some really like teams going for a Classico like 900 miles apart or something ridiculous.
I don't know who would be Barraca Central derby. My best guess is Lanús will play Banfield. Maybe Arsenal. I'm just thinking where geographically Barraca Central is. It's not far away from. It's still near Boca kind of thing geographically, but it's not far away from the south of the Greater Buenos Aires. So I wonder whether they will be playing Arsenal.
When you're called Barraca Central, I really assume like you are like deep in the middle of like.
Oh no, they are from Barracas is a neighbor in the south of the capital city. So yeah,
Ah,
yeah.
okay.
But
They are, yeah, they're based in Buenos Aires. They have
correct.
two stadiums.
They no, I don't think so.
I think they ground share a bit with Huracan, maybe, according to Wikipedia.
Okay, so look, the derby cannot be Arsenal because they are on the same zona. So I'm going to say they are likely to be playing against Sarmiento.
Sarmiento. They're not
That is
in.
that is my best guess, but I don't really know.
So who's is it? Is it going to be Tigre Platense?
Platense Argentinos, that's a derby. That's a local derby.
Oh, okay.
Um,
San Lorenzo,
Huracán.
Huracan.
Yes.
Racing Independiente, Lanús, Banfield.
Lanús Banfield, correct.
No. Who's Defensa de Justicias?
I'm checking.
Oh, that. I mean, could
That
that
could be
be?
another one. Yeah, that could
That
be
could
another
be
one.
Braca Central because they're
Yes.
nearby.
I'm checking actually. I'm getting there.
Are you just skimming through?
They
Oh,
are
hang
playing
on.
against Sarmiento. They are playing against Sarmiento.
Hey,
I was right. Yeah.
you were.
Th-
Listen, nobody,
yeah.
nobody truly doubted you.
No, it's because yeah, the two teams are yeah, they don't really have a
Two teams
true
that don't
derby.
have a
A true
derby, and
derby.
they just
Yeah.
need one.
Yeah.
Where is
Well, they don't have a
Sarmiento?
derby in the first division, right?
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Sarmiento. Yeah, okay, that makes sense because you've got the La Plata clubs. Aldosivi are just way out on their own. They'll probably
Yeah,
get
Aldosivi it's
chucked with
another
like
case
Godoy
because their
Cruz.
derby is Alvarado jugar in the in the B Nacional.
Who's their derby?
Alvarado from also Mar del Plata.
That's a team I'm not familiar with.
Yeah, but now the B Nacional has 37 teams, so
So it's grown since my days of
yeah, 37. I
reporting.
mean, it's a big number.
Who is? Sorry, I've gone into a massive. You know what I'm like. I love all this. Who is Aldosivi's Classico? Right. Which
Alvarado.
one?
Oh,
Sorry,
in the
in this.
league, I don't know.
Let's.
I don't really know. It's
Who,
impossible to say.
uh,
I'm going to gamble.
Patronato. They've got Patronato.
Patronato. Yeah, that makes sense.
And and they've got a game coming up in the A conference against Colegiales. No idea.
In the Copa Argentina.
Oh, that must be what that is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. That's enough. That's enough tangenting from you and I. We could do this probably far too long. Cool. So yeah, anyway, as I was saying, 14 games, 13 in your zone, one across zones for your Classico, or if you're in the case of Patronato and
Whoever
Aldosivi,
they
two
match
teams
you
that
up.
can just
Yeah.
be smashed together at each other. Because back to my map, where's Patronato? That is
Santa Fe.
That's so far away.
Yeah. There's no logic behind.
I mean, it makes it's as close as you're gonna get without.
No, it's not.
They couldn't have given them Defensa de Justicia.
Yeah. But Defensa y Justicia are probably playing Arsenal.
Yeah.
That's a more local thing.
Anyway,
top four go through.
Top four go through.
Yeah. Quarterfinals, semifinals, and just one leg final.
I assume the knockout stage is first in Zona Uno plays fourth in Zona Dos. I assume it's done like the
first play fourth, and
in the opposite zone.
Correct.
All right, fine, as it should be.
Yeah.
So who knows? You could have a final of two Zona Dos sides.
Last year that's what happened. Racing and Colón got to the final, and they were from the same zona, basically.
There you go. So this is that's all very exciting. The 2023 Promiedos is less exciting. Currently with 13th in that table. Not that really counts for heaps right now, but just
keep an eye on it.
Keep an eye on it because we're about to lose a decently okay season.
Yeah,
off the
correct.
Books. 53 points. Jeez, yeah, it's just not good enough. But hey ho, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? Right, Nacho Tierno.
Thank you very much, Darren.
Always, my friend. This is our promise to the viewers and all listeners. We are going to be much more frequent with the podcast. Not promising weekly, but we will be much more frequent with it, and probably not going to take 1 hour 24, but we hopefully won't have heaps to catch up on. Aiming for a hot 45, yeah?
I think it was worth it. We talk about transfers and a
Yeah.
lot. We
Again,
won't
this
talk
is sort
about transfers every day. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. If we had a preseason preview, this would have been it, but we didn't because just listen. When you're a European commentator, my God, my life is so busy at the moment. Nacho, people can find you on social media at Nacho Tier.
That is correct, and where we can find Darren and his basketball commenting.
At Awaid's Touch on Twitter, named after the greatest footballer to lace up a pair of boots that you'll ever see. I just love Luciano Awaid. Apparently, he's not playing at the moment because he's had some heart trouble.
Correct.
So, massive fingers crossed for him. I don't care if he never plays football again, just as long as the guy is happy and healthy. But it would be obviously great for him if he could play football, if that's what he wants to do.
And if not, it doesn't
and if
matter.
not, doesn't matter. So yeah, and make sure check us out at Racing Club UK or at Racing Club
Yeah,
UK.
on Twitter and Instagram, and we also have the Facebook page. So get in touch with us.
Make sure you do that. And if you want to be part of the filial, again, just get in touch with us through there. And yeah, we'll see what can be done. If you're based in the UK and you want to get involved with chatting Racing and watching Racing. And also, as we're coming to the end of the pandemic, not to be political, and with the season, who knows? We could even have a filial meetup or something like that.
It's on the schedule, so coming soon.
Coming soon to a pub near you. Probably not, but maybe.
Hopefully at my place. Anywhere that works.
Time. Always a good time. But seriously, we need to rent out a back room of a pub or something at some point. That would be class.
Yeah.
Right, so that's going to do it from us.
Thank you, Darren.
Thank you, everybody. Take care, and we'll chat to you soon.